All right, what we're going to do, we're going to talk about this. Go ahead and start copying this down. Dealing with used vehicles. So used cars, used trucks, SUVs, whatever. Again, I think we talked a little about it last time. More than likely.
This is what we're going to do.
Right. I'd love to think that every single one of you is going to have billions and billions of dollars, and you're always going to be able to buy brand new cars anytime you want, but I'm guessing probably that's probably not going to happen.
It's gonna be me. I'm gonna be one to make a breakthrough.
Hey, Mom,
You're
time
gonna
of
have
it.
billions, but.
Of what? Of vans?
No, time of it. What you like?
Sorry, I just have like a really big one-bedroom house. The rest of my rooms are occupied.
You live in a giant studio house.
Yeah.
It's a country mile long.
Yeah.
I had a student last year, and that's all they talked about was
They live by
how
themselves.
they were going to be so rich and everything, and they weren't going to have to buy used cars and stuff. And there was twice during the year that they came and talked to me and said, "I'm getting ready to buy this used car," and I wanted to tell them every time, but I controlled myself. You said you were that you were going to be so rich that you didn't never have, but. So, every time we discuss something, it was a little worse than Dylan, because this person wasn't, Dylan just says, oh, $15 doesn't mean anything. This person was really bad. And then we talked about, and we talked about this earlier, how a lot of the use like Venmo and those things to pay your bills and stuff.
I don't trust you.
And they didn't realize they were paying their bills through some online setup. It wasn't Venmo, I don't remember what it was. But they were paying everything through this online setup because they thought, oh, this is so easy. And they didn't realize that every time that they were paying something or making some kind of transaction, the online setup was charging them 50 cents. And then that made me real mad, and then I did have to be a smart aleck. I said, 50 cents, but you're going to be a millionaire. Why are you worried about 50 cents?
How mad did they get?
And they weren't happy with me.
Understandable.
A used vehicle guide. A used vehicle guide, something online, probably the one that most of you know is Kelley Blue Book. That's the one that everybody talks about, or the most. Edmunds is another one.
Facebook Marketplace.
And does Facebook Marketplace do where they tell you the value and stuff? Or is that just where you talk about buying it?
No.
Buying cars?
No, the redneck on the other side says so.
So a used vehicle guide is something, just an online thing telling you, about how much the car should be worth. And what it does is it takes cars of that same make and model and year and says, these cars sold, and it's sort of hard to explain, because if a car, they take all the cars in your area that are the same as that car you're looking at, and what they've sold for in the last, it says previous month, but probably not here in Preble County, because it's not like we live in, Los Angeles or something, and 6 million cars sell every other day or so. Here, if a car, in a month, in all of Preble County, if 200 cars sell in a month, that I would probably think that that's a little high. So the chances of them finding one that's actually the same as yours, sort of slim. But that's what these used vehicle guides do, to try to give you an idea how much the car should actually be worth. That way Aiden's not paying $5,000 for a $2,000 car, and you can look at it and, you know, Johnny's not just ripping you off when he's selling you the car. Which, again, a lot of the times, the buy here, pay here lots, you drive the car off the lot, it's yours. There's no warranty, nothing on it, so you better check it out well before you buy, or you buy it from Joe Smith, your neighbor, and it blows up on you the next day. It's not gonna matter. All right. I bought, when I was younger, I just got married, I bought a station wagon off of a friend of my wife's family, and the motor was blown. And I went back to him and said, hey, did you know that this motor was blown?
Yeah.
Yeah. I said, well, why didn't you tell me? Well, and it was a friend, I mean, and it wasn't some young guy, it wasn't some, you know, Elijah that was 18 years old or whatever and just trying to get over on me. This was some guy that had been a friend of her family for a long, long time that sells cars all the time. And I thought, all right, that's sort of crappy that I wouldn't, you know, I probably still would have bought the car because it did bother me. I wanted the car, but he could have told me that beforehand. 1 second. Yes. Yes. Sure. Oh, and then once you're in the office.
No, I gotta move that stuff.
Yeah. Oh, and check your email, all right?
Alright.
So, vehicle guy again, Kelly's Blue Book. Edmunds is another one. There's probably others out there now since everything's online, so there's probably all kinds of them that you can look at to see. And all they're doing is they're giving you, they'll normally give you like a range of what this car should be worth, and you have to make a decision about.
Fill your water now. Fill your water, the volume could be one.
The formula that you're going to use on the assignment, the average retail price. Average retail price is the average retail value plus additional options, minus options deduction, and minus mileage deduction. I'll give you a second to write all that down, then I'll explain each thing. Saving that. All right, so the average retail price is what on normal that the average person paid for that certain vehicle. The retail value, that's just a set value for all of them, no matter if it's, you know, got all these special things on it or not. Just the basic value. Additional options. So additional options is, we talked about options before. You know, this is, does the car have some special rims on it? Does the car have some special stereo in it? Does it have special like ground effects or anything like that? So those are added on. These are the ones that confuse most students. Options deduction. There's a deduction, and the book's got a list of stuff that it's going to deduct. There's a deduction on the value of the car if it doesn't have certain things on it. Right? So if it doesn't have air conditioning, then there's a deduction that these car, like Kelly's Blue Book does, if it doesn't have AC. If it doesn't have, I'm trying to think what else there might be. You know, it used to be like power brakes and power steering, then there'd be a deduction. Well, everything has power brakes and power steering now, so. If it doesn't have certain airbags and stuff, all right? All the safety equipment doesn't have that. If it doesn't have, I can't even think of what other deductions you might take off. Maybe power windows, which again, most cars now have power windows in them. So those are deductions that if the car doesn't have that, then you subtract off, you know, $100, $200, $300, whatever, for the value of the car. Mileage deduction. The car's got, it'll say something like if the car's got 90,000 miles on it, 90,000 miles, then you deduct off $100. If the car's got 100,000 miles on it, you deduct off $200. The car's got 120,000 miles on it, so on, you deduct off $400 or whatever. So it'll have a list like that. The more miles it's got on it, the more you're going to deduct off of it. So you just have to make sure when you're doing the assignment, average retail price, you're just taking this number. They're going to tell you an average value. Add on the extra money for the additional options, and there'll be a list of them and how, you know, what each one gets added on or how much gets added on for each one. The deductions are for if it has no AC, no. This is old, but when Ebersole was growing up, some of the cars didn't have a radio in it. That doesn't happen anymore. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. About 5 years ago, they quit putting radios in some of the cars. And then they started back up because it didn't work out very well. Because they were, instead of putting radios in there, they were just putting the Bluetooth stuff in it. And that didn't go over real well. All right, what I want you to do, get out your computers. I sent an email to you. It's got a couple websites on it. Come up here, grab one from each of these piles. One paper's a worksheet that you're going to turn in. The other one's just the list that we're going to use.
Sorry, I started something though.
You're good.
The first, when you get to the email, the first website that I sent you is probably the one we want to go to. That's Kelly's Blue Book. So go to it first. When you get to the website, you get to this point where I'm at on my computer, just wait a minute or two. We're going to get everybody to that point.
get the blue book thingy? Get to?
The email, I sent you an email, Seth.
Okay. Okay, fine. Did you click on it? Yeah.
Turned it on and turned it right back on.
What's she gonna do at school? Huh? She's. Thank you.
Not sure how sharp the battery is.
Which one do we go to?
First one.
It's kind of like the AC or something. I'm clicking on it.
ABB.
Do what?
I'm burning up.
You're burning up.
Yeah, hot.
It's not burning up on Elijah.
I'll turn the AC up.
Okay. You probably won't, but if you wait pass out,
I don't have an AC.
I know. Bring. I know. I'm taking
Your hands are so tiny.
You really did.
They're not like that small. They're not like freakishly small.
Why get you in your double wide thumbs
Yeah,
out
I
here?
got like normal girl hands.
My hands.
It's kind of scary. I have a bigger thumb than 8th grade, so.
Your thumb looks like two thumbs put together.
Do you remember Kai's hands compared to
Oh
yours?
my god, they swollen. Kai's hand was literally.
Kai's?
Yeah, Kai's.
Kai's hands are huge.
Kai's
Like,
hands were
Kai's
massive.
hands will like. Kai can literally do this to 8th hands.
And he wasn't even that tall.
That just,
I don't mean nothing.
he had like really big feet.
Holy crap. I remember him.
Noon time with this.
I don't even remember. I can barely remember anything. What? This is a face I haven't seen for a long time.
I liked Kai, but I also couldn't look at Kai without like pointing to like smack him.
Same. But mostly the smacking part. But mainly, I don't remember.
Just don't believe it.
No, I can't
It
really
takes
say
a
anything.
Be mad at me, Elijah.
Smack upside the head.
Put it
Owen was telling me what happened.
Put it away. I don't care what Owen was telling you.
We.
He was telling you why he was in here, what happened. Is everybody to this point?
Yeah. Yeah, the Kelly Blue Book.
I think I'm on the wrong one.
Click on the top one.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
That's okay.
Is it coming on, Kylie? Kayla, that is it working? I know. Did it really come out that Seth is sitting right next to you? Did it really?
Yeah, but it shouldn't matter as long as we get our work done.
That's true.
Cheese ball.
I'm sorry, but it's still, whether you get your work done or not, it's gonna be annoying if I have to keep hearing that.
Okay, fine. I'll stop. No, you won't.
How close are you, Kylie?
No, you you didn't?
I'm good here.
It started in the 6 and it's still happy now.
When you get to this point, we don't know the VIN numbers on the cars. You probably won't know the VIN number when you're buying a used car, unless it's at a dealership or somewhere, because you're probably not going to go to your neighbor's house and they're not going to tell you their VIN number. That's not something that you usually want to just tell a random person. So go to make and model. Let's make up a car here real quick. Give me a type of car, or give me a year first.
1998.
1998. All right. Give me a make
Chevy.
and what model.
Malibu.
Now the bad thing here is, you sure they made Malibus in '98?
I don't know. It's just the first one that came in my
Yes.
head.
All right. So mileage. How much mileage on it?
200,000.
And for our zip code, let's use New Paris. 45347. And all you're going to do is you're going to type all that stuff in here. Go down to 98, yeah. I can't type in 200,000 on my screen, so. Once you have all that typed in, don't put your email in this thing, all right? Just hit go. Then it's going to ask you some questions.
I'm getting a solid.
First one says which style. Does anybody know what a sedan is?
Yeah.
Regular car.
Alright. So this one asks sedan, 4D. What do you think 4D means?
4-door.
4-door. And then it says an LS sedan.
That's the motor type.
So there was apparently two kinds of Malibus put out. One was a standard, one was a LS. Sometimes the LS or the RS or something, it just means it has maybe a bigger motor in it, or it might be a 6-cylinder compared to a 4-cylinder, or a V8 compared to a 6-cylinder, whatever. I don't care. Let's just pick one. Which one do you want to do? The LS. Click on the LS. Hit next.
Oh my god. I wonder how much my car would
For
be.
what purpose?
This car.
On this one, it says, tell us your car's option. On, when you're doing the sheet that you picked up, when you're doing it, when you get to this point, just hit price with standard options, or standard equipment, all right? But for this, don't hit it yet. For this one, if you want to tell the options that the car has on it, then you can select this and tell like all the different stuff that it has. You can do the interior, the exterior, you can give the color. If you wanted to do this on the cars that you're going to do on that day, that's fine also. Click on interior, it might, it's got this. Maybe it's got a DVD system in it. You can click on that. Navigation system. If it doesn't have a cassette player, no cars have a cassette player now. Alright, so you can get rid of that. If it doesn't have AC, you can get rid of that. If it doesn't have cruise control, you can get rid of that. Maybe it doesn't have power seats. Exterior, got dual airbags for safety, alloy wheels. Maybe it's got premium wheels on it, maybe it's got a sunroof, a rear spoiler, moonroof, whatever. Color, pick me a color.
Um,
Pick car, we hit next.
Magenta.
Says you've got options. Get your trade-in, and private, get a cash offer for your, vehicle. So we'll just go with private party value. That's what we're looking at, because the cars that I gave you, you're just buying from a private party. So just that one there, if it's not already click on it. Hit next. That. Then we got this. What is your vehicle's condition? How nice is our vehicle?
Fair.
Fair? Click on it, hit next.
Is it?
It's calculating our blue book value. And it shows this little screen here. Shows this little screen. On this little screen, it gives you your trade-in value range here, $150 to $447. All right. The trade-in value probably they're saying it's probably about $200 or $250. Sorry. Trying to think what else we need off of this. What else does the sheet ask you for?
The market rate,
Market range,
purchase price.
fair purchase price. How do we get to it? Let's see. Let's do private party. Click on private party right here. Notice if you're getting it from a private party, then this is. So we want this range. Private party value, that's the fair market purchase price.
And the listing price.
There should be another number here somewhere. They must have changed up the way they do this stuff. Let's see.
Is there Ebersole?
Yep.
It's a private party.
That's just like you're just buying it from, so you're buying a car from Peyton.
Oh.
That's not a good idea. Buying it from somebody that's not-
So if you have that, I'm not sure because something's changed on this. They've changed something on this website where it says give the fair purchase price, give the typical listing price. Just put this for both of them. All right. When you get to that point, just put that in there. And then the last thing says, explain what kind of deal the dealership is giving you on the car. It doesn't have to be a dealership. I put dealership. We're going to go with private party. So explain what kind of deal they're giving you. They're giving you a good deal, bad deal, crappy deal, terrible deal, whatever.
So two and three are the same.
Yeah, you can just put 2 and 3 is the same. If I figure out something different, because I swear there used to be, maybe we went to the wrong thing. Maybe because I thought there was a place where you could go look, you're trying to buy a car. This is, let's see if we can go all the way back. Trade in, private value, my car's value. Somebody finds it because do me a favor and just type in let's see if we can find something on here, see if I can figure this out. Where's it? What's my car worth? Vehicle values. Type in Kelly Blue Book. Let's do that. Let's go to a different website, see if we can come up with the.
I found one.
You found what? Where it gives the different things?
For 1998 Chevy Ebersole, it's valued between $549 and $2,122.
So what'd you do?
I just typed in the next price of the Chevy.
Did it give you did it take you to Kelly
They did, it's off of the end.
Edmonds? I don't know, let me look at this real quick and then we'll, let's see, log in, get started. Nope. Let's get started. More information. Let me see if I can figure out anything here. That's not what we want. Type of ordination. All right, let's go back and we'll see if Edmonds, maybe Edmonds is a better one to go to for this. Selling my car online, I don't want to do that. New car pricing, used cars for sale, praise my car reviews. Did it give you a picture sort of like that one that we were looking at with the range and stuff, or? Did it
I
give-
just read it on the document.
And did it give you 2 and 3 separate? Like a fair price and a typical listing price?
Found a way you can build and price the car.
Do I?
I found a way you can build and price the car.
Yeah, but I was sort of hoping that,
That's,
I don't know where I got this from before. When I've done this in the past, it listed, on Kelly's Blue Book, it listed a fair price, and it listed a typical price. Now it's not listing that anymore. I don't know why. That's all right, just do the Kelly Blue Book. So, wherever we were at a minute ago, that now I'm not able to get back to because I'm not smart enough. That site that I sent you, just do that. Type in the 3 cars, fill this in.
Do we all have to have the same 3 cars?
Yeah. Yeah, it's on this list.
Oh,
So you got car on page 1, car on page 2, car on page 3. These cars probably aren't going to be worth a whole lot anymore because I haven't changed it for a couple years. I don't know, that's 2017, so.
It could cost a lot more, actually.
Because, so just type it in like we did, go to this page for each car, type it in. You don't have to worry so much about the options. If you want to try to do the options and see the range with the options, without the options, whatever, then you can read through on the list that I gave you. It's got, the equipment, all the accessories on it and stuff. You could read through that and give all that. Price on that one, does it? When I put a price on it. Oh, it does have a price, all right. Just small, I couldn't see it. You gotta tell me both. It's like, not looking close enough to Ebersole. I just couldn't see the price. It's too small. So as you're doing this, when you go to buy a car, good idea to look up some of this stuff, see what that car is actually valued at, rather than just expecting that Kylie's gonna, oh, Kylie's a friend, she's gonna give me a good deal. And don't know that I always trust that.
Mr. Ebersole, could I go ahead and name them from this case?
Let me call it.
Okay, that's fine.
She's not in, so.
No, she's not.
She's got an engine in it. It's nice if it does. It probably says on there somewhere. Very good. Yeah, just pick one. I'll tell you this about it, if it normally doesn't say a style, the person selling it to you or the dealer or whatever doesn't tell you it's an LS or an RS or an XS or something like that, that probably means it's the basic model. Alright, because if it is that, they're gonna try to get more money out of you by telling you that.
So do we just pick like the vehicle condition
Yeah. Yeah. You could just pick the vehicle condition. My pictures aren't. They got this new copy machine in and it doesn't like my pictures anymore for some reason. So it used to be you could see the cars and sort of tell, you know, if they were in okay condition or not, but now the pictures won't even do it here.
Yeah, I'm an A down there, so if I'm gonna hear all the teachers complaining about it.
I'm not sure what it's supposed to be better. I think it does too much. Too advanced, like.
Wait, are we supposed to?
This is,
Hey, quick question.
yep.
Is the zip code the one next to Richmond, Indiana, on this paper?
He's asking, do we have to use the zip code that's shown on the paper, or do we use the post?
Either one.
Okay.
And
As
then,
long as you're not putting in the zip code for San Francisco or somewhere, in our basic area, the price is going, it's gonna be the same.
Okay.
and then when we do like the,
Hey, look, I got a car.
the joint street.
You know what?
Private car.
You know this is in the track?
Oh,
I got recalls on that.
Is there a recall on it?
Three of them. There's 3 recalls.
Yeah, I had a lot of trouble there for a while.
That's good.
Matter of fact, I think I might have just heard another recall from Kia here just the other day. Something about the wiring system.
Yeah.
Let water leak in.
Listed.
Oh, was that?
Letters.
It was letting water leak in, and it was getting in the wiring system and causing sparks, and then it was causing fires in the.
And then a private party range, like, the two numbers, that's what we're looking
So this much to this much. Well, did all of them come out to be crappy deals?
No, not all of them.
Really?
A lot of them are pretty close.
I figured that they were, since it's been a couple of years since I've changed this, that they'd all be crappy deals by now, but.
Not too bad.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Recalls on that.
This is what I did wrong. Say the wrong website, should have said this. Go to this, I type this stuff in. Might help me out. Well, do you still have that paper with the cars on it?
No, not with me.
Might tell me what was the year of the first car?
at. 2015.
2015. What was the name?
Yeah, off the mark.
This is the, where it's gonna give us the word. When you're looking at this, when I send it to the right site, got pros of this car, cons of this car. Gives you ratings. What color did they say that first one was?
Gray or silver.
Yeah, they changed the side up. Right there it says fair purchase price. complicated way. It's the way life is.
Can we change the definition of life? Which one?
The one we're in,
Yeah, we're like, I don't know, sir. Just like, I swear, eat a bagel.
What?
I swear, eat a bagel. What? I just swear, eat a bagel. I don't know.
9 recalls on that Mercedes. 9 recalls on that Mercedes Benz per hour.
I wanted a donut. My paper doesn't talk about it. Oh, thank God there's no pen.
a lot of stuff on foreign cars paid more than, like a Mercedes built overseas, and they don't have all the facility rules and regulations that the US has a lot of times, so they get out, they sell them, end up selling them over here, and get all kinds of recalls and stuff.
Was I supposed to?
Kia is probably the same thing, because isn't Kia built in Korea or somewhere? I mean, some of them are in the US, but.
Was I supposed to click then because the paper says then?
Okay.
Like at the very top. Oh, look there. Yeah. You're supposed to click on it.
No, you're supposed to, whenever you're searching, do the year, do the style,
I am an idiot.
You're not the idiot. You're just not thinking straight.
It doesn't, yeah, probably pick out one.
What the
One's the automatic and one's a standard
How
shift.
did you get
What
that?
it's looking like. I'm not sure. Let's see, is this one set? Automatic or standard?
I got it. Sure. This is the computer decided to guess it for me.
With the tray.
Sorry.
I had that a while back. The assignment's on page 348, so when you get done with that, you can start on it. Problems 214, not a real long assignment. Guess I probably don't have to say that. One of our assignments in here is usually very long.
Not really.
Even though some people apparently lie to their mom and say, Ebersole makes this assignment too long.
What?
Mom said that, you said the assignments were too long.
You can tell that one.
You'd never tell her that, would you?
I never said they were long. I said there was a lot. There's a difference between
I guess
long
that's
and a
a
lot.
big difference, isn't it?
You're supposed to deny. You not learned anything?
But there is a difference between long and long. Long is time consuming.
Ally, was
A
that
lot
the Mercedes
is
that we were just
is a
looking
lot.
at? The automatic, the Ford.
Long just means the paper is very long.
Yeah, actually, you're not wrong, actually.
Exactly. I went again.
The E250
Hey, you do that a lot.
Oh,
Yeah.
When you done with the video, you do it again.
I think it was, I have no idea what I just said. I don't know, I think he had a stroke. Then again, it's also you, so we don't question.
The name is gone. Name is gone. I'm having a long full of ambulance.
Don't laugh at it, you.
I'm encouraging
I
it.
know, that's not a good thing.
Am I supposed to be on your side or his side?
I would think you want to be on the side of sensibility.
I don't have that. Okay. 3. I'm gonna 2. Yeah, clearly I don't have that.
Well, the list on there pretty straightforward. Yeah. It's just right above there. And add this if it has this, subtract this if it doesn't have this, or whatever.
to write this down because I put a bunch of details with so much at first too. It was